not coincidental and is the work and effort of a lot of people in the small and big measures to bring the Keshe Foundation to where we are. We promised over 2 years ago that by April of 2012 we will start the Keshe Institute to teach worldwide our technology. And we are exactly 30 days ahead of our target today by opening this place. Keshe Foundation, as it's become to be known as Keshe Foundation, started with me being invited in a military fair to come to Belgium. And coming to Belgium for assessment, going from one step to another, I came across the first, what we call the first affiliation, the first member of Keshe Foundation, which is Mr. Olivier Hayes. And he is responsible for Keshe Foundation the way you see it today. It's grown strength by strength, step by step, and in the process he brought the second man who is a vital man in the whole structure of Keshe Foundation, which is Mr. Tom Verbest. He hasn't arrived yet, and with him and after that is Mr. Dirk Lorison. So the 4 core members of the Keshe Foundation are here, and the rest has been a step, building it up step by step. You never see these people in the front, but they are the backbones of the Keshe Foundation. So what you see, it has been evolution over 5 years in Belgium. We have been and we have seen governments, ministers, cabinet ministers, you don't go anywhere, come back. Come, where are you going? Yes? Oh, go and come back. If you don't know who she is, she's the face of the Keshe Foundation. That's her. In the pictures you see. Yeah? She is the future of the foundation. And that's why it's nice. I was surprised seeing you here. In so many ways, we stayed a very small core but very active for nearly 6 years in Belgium. Then, after my return 21st of March last year from Iran, the decision was made that we'll make Keshe Foundation known internationally. And to that effect, the decision was made that the result of 12 months of work, hard work by a lot of people you see here have contributed towards it, is the outcome of today. It started with, in a very simple way, meeting, first of all, His Highness standing there looking at me, sitting there looking at me, the head of Belfort Group, in a meeting with Chantal, and then he grew up to meeting Luc, and then coming to Will, and then it's literally mushroomed out. Now we are, and he will very soon, Keshe Foundation will have 4 bases here in Belgium, Holland, Germany, and a 4th country, which is at the moment, will come out very soon, we will announce it. It's too politically sensitive. So, but this auditorium will be used to teach worldwide our technology. We try to set up an institute to teach in the past 2 years, 3 years, and in every way we've been blocked. So this way we cannot be blocked anymore. This way we'll start teaching. The humidity is too high. That's the humidity by measurement. You're getting all excited, so the heat has gone up. So what is going to be and what it is? Keshe Foundation is 40 years of pure research by me. And from next month, my knowledge has been set to be taught back to the next generation. You have to understand this technology is very lethal. If it's in the hand of wrong people, it can be abused. We've seen the abuse even in the very recent past. We keep a lot of information away from public. But believe you me, there are people who actually started abusing the technology when it started. So, to that effect, we will protect the technology and we will show the power of the technology. A lot of people say to me, when are you going to show your generator, the power generator? We will show the power generator when it's already delivered to the people who have actually have signed in for it. That it means we shall not be blocked. There will be no process of blocking and nobody knows. All you're going to get is a knock on the door, your unit is there. If you pay for it, you get your unit. If it not, it goes back to the manufacturer. It's very simple. We will not allow the blocking system which has been in operation for past 10 years to block us any further. And we have set a procedure to that effect. You have to understand, Keshe Foundation is not me, but is you. You are the owners. You are the people who build it and you protect it. Come. The message is very simple. By accident, total coincidence, I came across Ivan, who allowed us to bring what I used to do in Holland, in Belgium, trying to develop the medical application. And through his generosity, as you see, this center has been set up. This is not coincidental. There is a strange but very straightforward the way this technology is going. We released videos of people walking. In a very short while, we released the pictures of the landing on the outside the surface of the Earth. These videos will be released very soon. As you know, I was blocked to show the car and to show the, what you call a spaceship, 26th of November last year. On the 3rd of November in Belfort Group presentation, we showed the systems. And within 2 weeks after we showed the systems, the power of the technology was shown by the government of Iran in capturing the American spacecraft. Now we warn and we always speak ahead. We will show landing very soon. We will show the power of this technology and we will show the opening of the space. We will show the units and we will show the use of the units, and we leave the units in the hand of public to try themselves. This is a very big change from the course we had up to now. When I came back from Tehran 21st of March last year, 21st of January last year, the whole point changed in a way that we are here to push and force, and we will enforce world peace. And that's the object of Keshe Foundation. We are not political. We change from a small group to a very powerful scientific organization. And we will show what we can do and what can be done. Some of you in this room, you're already been through the process of Keshe Foundation medical side. Some of you have been here who have helped. Congratulations. Come forward. Nika, come. Move up. Annika is somebody who's been bearing, has been my guinea pig for nearly 6-7 months. She's got MS, and we've seen changes go backward, forward, but hopefully we can, and we have managed to get her off the wheelchair to walk for the first time. This is the change which will come. The change is amongst you and within you. We used not to talk and not to show to protect ourselves because we didn't know who do we trust. There's a gentleman here sitting amongst you, you don't even know him, but I've learned a lot from him. The space, the energy, the medical, the material, and the food, very directly from now on. We've been waiting for this center to open up since November. Am I correct? And it's been even opening it today has been a miracle. There are people who more or less been working 48 hours, 72 hours, past 72 hours last week to get this place opened up. But this is not the home of Keshe Foundation. This is your home, and this belongs to you. And very soon, we have already got booking from different nationalities and different people from different countries coming here to be taught for 3 to 5 days to go back. I know there are seminars going in Hong Kong, there are seminars going in Canada. People are never met, they're putting weekend seminars about the Keshe Foundation and Keshe technology because they start understanding and doing it. I try to pass my knowledge as fast as possible within the next few months to as many people as possible. But we are going to vet, we're going to check everybody who's here. There are people who came to us as friends, but they turned out to be the biggest enemy of the foundation. We know them, huh? Mr. Dr. Rosens can tell you a lot about it. But every time somebody has come to harm us, we've gone further. It's opened more doors for us. I have a long history of going to the meetings which we walked out, we thought it was no good, with Olivier for a couple of years. We've been to meetings with Mr. Declarations, we've been to meetings with Tom Webest, where, well, they blocked us. That gave us more strength to go further. Huh? It's opened us more doors. And they can tell you on their own. Tonight is not about teaching or presenting the technology. Tonight is about the reality where the technology has come from and what is going to change. Tonight is about the people who put the effort in the past 12 months to bring Keshe Foundation from obscurity to one of the well-known international organizations. I tell you how much we are well known. We are well known enough that in the past few days we've been asked to join international clinical trials in Africa. Not by us, but by the ambassadors and the governments. And we will carry on doing what we are doing. The good news is, as of more or less this week, the Keshe Foundation Belgium BBBA is set up. So we are an entity and we become an entity. So we start teaching on a Keshe Foundation basis and we start recruiting people to teach and to learn. We can literally fill this room for lecturing and teaching space technology tomorrow. There are a lot of people who want to know the space technology. We can fill this room, I think, about a couple of thousand times with people who love free energy. Free energy doesn't exist. And I keep on telling people, free energy does not exist. If you're waiting for a free energy, go to a magic show. You get more out of it than a free energy. Free energy is when people don't show you what is hidden. There is something hidden in their pocket, they don't show it to you, and then they say, this is the free energy I captured. I said that to a talk I gave in Ronsa last week. I was a guest speaker at the Frankfurt seminar 2 weeks ago, 2 Saturdays ago. In that seminar, it was very interesting to watch how people speak about free energy. The gentleman brings you a battery, which is 12 volts. He writes on the board 12 volt battery. And then he says, look, I turn up a 230 volt AC volt light. The battery's got 40 watts and I get 57 watt out. This is nearly 40% increase. And on top of his paper he writes, DC AC. I asked a single question, which any scientist will ask. Why don't you tell people in that battery there is an AC DC, there is a AC, which is an eddy current backward between the two plates. Then you don't cheat people with a 40% increase, because he only writes 40 watt DC. On the right he writes 57 watt AC DC. So in fact there is no free energy. The only thing he didn't tell you, there is an AC current in that battery. So all he's done, he has converted it, compressurized it, and he shows it. So you think it's marvelous, you're going to have a free energy. The only people who are going to give you free energy to you are the next generation of plasma physicists. Because a plasma is like a solar system. If you open it, if you get closer to the sun, you absorb faster energy. If you move further from the sun, you absorb less energy. So there is no magic. You all know what the game is, and that's what the Keshe Foundation plasma technology is. You understand, we will start opening the books of how you are getting and what we do. We won't spend time fighting other people saying what they do wrong. We start teaching the right way. There is a talk at the moment that you can have a 10 kilowatt energy source. I attended a meeting. Yes, there is a 10 kilowatt energy source, but just hot water. It's what we knew in Belgium, in Vito, in SCK research, 2005, 2006. Now they start telling there is a free energy, but the guy, it's the first time has come out that it just gives you boiling water, which is out of the chemical fact, and he calls it cold fusion. There is a lot of knowledge in Belgium. There is a lot of knowledge in Flanders. But there's a lot of knowledge which needs to come out of Flanders. We made it our home, and we carry on doing what we are doing best, in teaching it now worldwide. So from now on, we don't talk about free energy. Free energy does not exist. And the people who will receive the Keshe Foundation Power Energy Source, we will see how simple these technologies are. We've been straightforward from the beginning, and people who came to us when we offered our generator, we said, we want the money to set up the institute. 5,000 euro. Doesn't matter how much the unit costs. The money is there to support the institute worldwide. Now I can tell you something very interesting you have never seen. We will produce these power generators for less than $100. So you still pay us 4,900 euros. The balance goes for worldwide education. The size of these reactors now has reduced to the size of your fist. Because now you don't need to produce energy the wrong way. Now I'll bring you my magic box. A lot of you have been waiting to see this. You don't touch these with a bare hand. My wife has seen me going through boxes of this thing. She's just smiling. Caroline is here. You all know her most probably. she is half of the Keshe Foundation in support. Without her, we would not have been here, even though she's very stubborn. She only wants to stay in Flanders. There are some people who know what I'm talking about. She gave a life of luxury to live one of the most richest women in the world, most comfortable lives. She said no to. I want to stay in Flanders. So you know what she's done. I think Dirk can tell you that, right? Please do not take a picture. Can you close your cameras? This is just for a few seconds. This is how simple the technology will be to produce energy, and this system in conjunction with another system allows you to produce lift for space technology. The origin of this technology, this design comes thanks to the government of Iran, which we always thank them for what they've done and how they brought this technology advance. If you want to see, this is what you call real energy, plasma technology. You only need to open one plasma, not millions of them. You don't need to burn fuel, hundreds of tons, to create few kilowatts. This is how the future is going to be. One atom at a time. You open one plasma, and that plasma, which has been here for millions of years, and is going to be for millions of years, you consume its energy for the time you need. So if you're surprised by the size of this thing, even this size is too big for a plasma. You have to understand, we never ever show any of our systems in public. Today is the first time we show them openly, and we allow them to be seen when we explain it, because the teaching process hasn't started. Can you stop the camera for a second? To you, this is a cup. But there are people in this room who know. There are a lot of people who are after this little cup to change their lives. Doesn't mean we understand everything. We don't understand half of the things yet. And that's why our space technology is not for today. It's not for, can I have my power generator today, I don't pay taxes anymore. I had an email from a guy from Austria a couple of weeks ago. He says, do I have to report to my government, or would you tell my government that I bought the energy system from you? I wrote back, yes. It's very simple. Don't cheat your governments, because they are better in cheating you. You understand? They put parameters, and in a way, we are not here. And if you start working with us, working through Keshe Foundation, it's the first thing you teach people who approach you, who work with us. Don't cheat your government, because in a way you cheat yourself. We know what people are up to. We are very open. We see how people try to find a way not to pay taxes. But believe me, we pay 10 times more in different ways. Your old Christian, I would say, thou shalt not steal. The stealing from taxes is stealing from other people. It's the money which is not there for a child to get a chemo, to stay alive, to take pain off from parents. So you pay for the punishment of you didn't pay your taxes. This is how backward this whole process has become. But again, we are space technology based. At the moment, it's me plus some 10,000-15,000 scientists in Iran who are developing their space technology. I always thank His Excellency President Ahmadinejad for allowing the space technology to open up so rapidly. The government of Iran has been one of the cornerstones of the fast growing of this technology, and they bring it to you. They bring it in a very nice way that it will influence the peace, not the war. I always say, I have not seen any abuse for the past 3.5 years since I left Tehran. And I haven't seen any abuse since I left Tehran with my last meeting with the officials last 21st of March, January last year. But I wonder how many nations will carry on keeping the peace. There are crazy people who want this technology to become the foreign minister of the earth. Yeah? We get emails from idiots like that. Huh? They want to negotiate with the aliens for us. And if we don't give it, they send us threatening letter, they're going to kill us. We see it on our email path, more or less, on a regular basis. I don't put my life in danger for a few people, and I don't put my life in danger to justify to a few people just because they think they paid 500 euro for an energy system. Our target is much bigger. And now we are a month ahead of our target, and it just happened to be because this is not my work. This is work beyond the understanding of a lot of people. There is a purposeful foundation, and the way it is, and it's going faster because the time is closing, getting very close to where it has to come. Our medical, we are learning faster. Our space technology has gone great. Sometimes we don't get it right, do we? But you have to understand something. It's got so big that I can't carry it anymore. So now it's time to pass on. It's gone beyond the limit of just a few medicals. Now it's running into hundreds. Space technology, energy technology, the food and everything else. So you will see what the Belgian government did for past 7 years to shutting us up. You've got a shaking hand there. Yeah? You cannot even imagine what these two guys sitting in the front have been through, and plus Tom, which is not here yet, to be the foundation, to be where it is. It's not me, it's more us, and it's been continuous development. So we start teaching and we start passing the knowledge on to the people who are here not to get a free energy and pocket and sell it to the others. I'm here to teach, but teach in a very correct way. On the other hand, you have to understand a lot of people don't have the intelligence of you lot here to know what the purpose is. There are a lot of people who to them is just a private financial benefit is a matter to them. As I said, we developed in Tehran, we produce gold from the fresh air, and we explain it scientifically. We've seen it. I think Mr. Lorenz can tell you that he's seen the gold which was produced in Tehran. We produce food. We do all sorts of things which are not magic. It's just that our knowledge wasn't there to understand the process. Now we understand the process. And now we start passing the knowledge back to you and beyond the borders of Belgium. Keshe Foundation technology does not belong to Belgians, and does not belong to the Iranians, and does not belong to the Dutch. It belongs to the worldwide population, and we make sure it's going that way. We pass on the information, and today was to celebrate and thank you all who in one way or another participated to bring the foundation where it is. We opened a few places for public to come, but in fact this is a very private party for all the people who've been here with us in one way, translating a few lines, providing facilities for medical setting up, taking photographs and videos. The last video you've seen on the internet is done by His Excellency, but he's everywhere, and he goes everywhere. And in so many ways, the way you see the structure of the Keshe Foundation today, the new structure sits on the lap of, look who started it, and then it goes to a span. I don't know where it's hiding. There it is. And slowly, slowly, people are taking part in making the difference. So slowly, slowly, I take the back seat, and I start only involved in teaching and researching. But you have to understand one thing. This train is not to be stopped. At least the space technology is in the hand of one of the safest governments known to man. The Iranian government is very safe. Doesn't matter what people say. Not just because I'm Iranian, because they will come out and they will teach you the full space technology. NASA dominated the space for 30, 40 years, and it was American exclusivity. Now, the Iranian Space Agency will teach you space in a real term as a public knowledge information. But you have to understand one thing. Use my knowledge for peaceful application. Use my knowledge for bringing peace, not harming each other. I am sure, and I know what I'm talking about, most of you in this room, within a handful of years, land on the moon and beyond. When I said 2.5 years ago, 3 years ago, I passed the information of the spaceship program, it took 2.5 years to show. When I came from Tehran, 21st of January last year, it took 6 days for the government to announce they have a spaceship program. And when we showed the reactor in Buffalo Group presentation in Ghent, it took 14 days to show the power of this technology. We are very precise. We are very exact. And we do things according to a pre-plan for forcing peace the way it should be. I showed you something, small reactors today, but you will see the demonstration of it in public before you can imagine. The change of your lives and your children has changed, the course of your lives has changed, but for the better way. And hello, Tom. Mr. Tom Werbest, he's man in charge of everything. So, this is how it's going to be, and that's how it's planned out to be. Even some of the things I explained today must be shock to you, but we start teaching in a very heavy way, very extensive way, and at the same time, we are ready to demonstrate our spaceship program, the space program, fully in a matter of very, very short time. We have developed what we call double mobile phone systems. If you have double mobile phone, you can produce enough energy, food, and enough material, water, that you do not need to do anything else. The double telephone system will be public very soon. And it's very simple. As I explained, if you live in Africa or in Europe, most of you has a double telephone in some or another. And a double phone can be used to produce anything you need at the point of demand. Enough for a family, enough for a household, not enough to sell to somebody else. So there is no trading, but you all can have the same thing. And I think you know more than anybody else what this technology can do. Am I correct?
Yeah.
You have to understand we signed non-disclosure with everybody and agreements. So we cannot divulge or tell you what we do and what is done. But a lot of people here are already using part of the Keshe Foundation technology. the knowledge is not mine anymore. The knowledge is in the hand of the people, and it's enough patents being released. We will do even some of the things to the people who are close to the foundation. Is shocked when I tell people how the information about is carried. If the Belgian authorities would have allowed us to carry on the way we were before, we would have been much further, but thanks to them we developed further and further. Every blockage, every pain has been turned out to be benefit to us. But I can teach you, I can give you the water, which is for, let's say, helping you with any disease. You can change the same water, if you understand how to do it, to a poison to kill somebody with it. You have to understand these medical applications, if you misuse it, the same as making a poison. We have in one of our patents how to do the most heinous crime, but we have to put it to protect it that somebody else doesn't do it. Do you want to see the Pandora box opening? No. Do you want to see a Pandora box opening? No, just tell. No. You see, it to you is a box. I'm going to show you. Can I ask you to walk? Do you want? You want to see the magic? This is a Pandora box. The lady has had MS for 3 years in a wheelchair. And that's in 6 months. Bring the chair forward.
No, it goes.
It goes? Forward. Go back.
She goes.
There you go. To make a woman walk, to make a human being to get his dignity back, takes a lot of knowledge. This is what the future is. You want a Pandora box? If to you is important to have a 10 watts generator, to me it's important to give a life back to somebody whose MS is a one-way traffic. You understand? I think...
My question was that if you think it's open already.
It is already open. The patents are open. These gentlemen have done a lot of work to protect it and be it with you. I just brought the knowledge. A doctor, a professor in Frankfurt University said to me, and I've said this before, he said, I work with MS every day. To move a little finger takes a lot of knowledge, and we do it for a few days, and then when the vein is closed, it's gone. You make people who haven't walked get all their senses back and walking. To speak about God's particle, I said it last week in Ronso talk. They say when something position comes, they're looking for God's particle, and they've seen it for the first time it exists. If you understand and read my books on the patterns, every one of us is a God particle. Because when the magnetic field slows down enough to become tangible, that we see it, then to us is matter, it's a solid matter. Yeah? So they look in the plasma, wait for a field to slow down enough, and suddenly becomes, oh, it's a God particle. So all of us are God's particle. It shows the hypocrisy in the science. Yeah, and the way they want to believe. There's something else I have to tell you. You brought a subject about Iran. You ask the Swiss French Center, Research Center, so ask them what percentage of your research money is coming from Iran. They don't tell you that. And tell them how many Iranian nuclear physicists are in CERN. They don't tell you that. But the black hole process which started in CERN, initially financed, and two of the major professors who initiated to see the black hole for the first time are Iranians. But they don't tell you that, but they tell you Iran is looking nuclear. Those are still nuclear scientists. Yeah? Top fusion plasma scientist in jet project in the United Kingdom is an Iranian. Board of directors of the NASA is an Iranian. Tehran board. They don't tell you these things because the image doesn't fit. it's not being nationalistic, because it's being opening the eyes that we are all the same and equal, but we work through the same process. You have to understand this. In the world of medicine, I'm not a doctor, but the way I work with it is that they don't teach our doctors that your blood vessels, your blood is your sewage system, and your feeding system is your lymph. And if the simple concept are understood, then you can change a lot of things. A lot of present medicine goes through the blood to go to change. Even if they change the direction of the injections and the medication towards the lymph, they'll find out a lot of medical applications or medicines. They work much easier in a different way. So the way I work with the plasma in the lymph before it becomes matter. That's why changes are big. The present belief is that the oxygen crosses the wall of the lung and you get oxygenated blood. I can prove to you and show you physically, no oxygen ever crosses the wall of the lung. Oxygen, at a certain point, due to characteristics of the lining of the lung, transfers equal magnetic field energy to the cells which are within the blood and behave to carry that energy. That's why when you say you have a dark blood and a brighter blood, and you say this is what is oxygenated and has come out. Scientifically, to me, this is a lot of nonsense, because all it is when the blood passes the lining of the lung, once absorbing the magnetic magnetic field enough to change the oxygen to a CO2 level, in the presence of another material which is within the lining and people don't understand it yet, then the white or red blood cells get energized enough that they become lighter. The easiest way to explain is you play with a dimmer light in the house. When you increase the energy, the lamp becomes brighter. Yeah? So when the energy crosses the boundary, the magnetic field and gravitational field absorbed by the red cells makes them to glow because they carry some of the energy. So they become brighter, and that's how the way I do the process of building my systems. Every red cell has a destination, is a taxi to one point. All the oxygen which goes through the lung, but if they give all their energy to one place, your heart should be a very big thing, full of energy. Yeah? But they go to the destination they pre-designated by the magnetic gravitational field and deliver it to that position. I understand which taxi goes to which destination, and I load that destination taxi only, not the taxi which goes to somewhere else. Magnetic field on its own doesn't exist. It's the plasma which does the work. It's a big difference between magnetic field and the plasma. Plasma is a totally different concept. Once you understand how it works, everything else is offsprings of where it goes and how you divide it. Yeah? This is what, for example, if you understand what goes where, and if it doesn't go where you want it but it doesn't get, you can change its position till where it needs the repair to be done is done, and then you put it back again. In a trial we did where we brought the function of the brain to the jaw to allow time for the brain to recover and to return it. And I think there is somebody here who can tell us. Am I correct? Yeah. So he's a well-known person in the way he's helped us with a coma case where we brought, he was present, the function of the brain you can bring to the nerves of the jaw. There is enough of them there to support a full life function, to allow the process of the healing in the brain, and then you return the function. Where in videos we show where you can give instruction for the leg to open, the arm to open, and then when you order it, you put it back in. It's not an easy science, but I will teach it to the people who matter to know, to be done. But it's a very, it needs to know how to trigger it. You have cells which behave like as oxygen. And if they are disturbed, then they don't carry that level to go up. You don't find the blood vessels to be empty just because they don't carry oxygen. It's just that they go to a position, they call themselves a balance, what I call them balance field. I make these systems quite a lot for when you have cancer condition, you block cells from receiving energy. Yeah? It's like starving this body, or when you have no oxygen in your body. This is a balanced condition in respect to your environment. You don't receive and you don't give anything. And then it works very much the same way. What we eat is 20% of the energy we need. 80% of the energy we need is absorbed through our environment. Yeah? And I explained on the forum very recently in the live that our aura is our magnetic gravitational field. If you can change, some people can, not everybody can at the moment, create a magnetic gravitational field to absorb from environment, you can absorb anything you need. This is how we use the environmental magnetic field and environmental gravitational field as a plasma to do certain processes for people to what do you call it, to reverse cancer, to reverse what do you call it, MS or ALS, because you use the environmental, not the area. If you've got a strong enough magnetic gravitational field, you can absorb from environment. That's 80% you need.
Is it possible to train that?
Quite possible. You can do it because don't forget the reason we eat, because we have a digestion system. This is the problem which we faced in Tehran, and we solved it very rapidly, was that we produced protein out of fresh air. So much so that I damaged quite a few systems. And the whole question came, you work so sterilized, everything is so sterilized, there is nothing, even you don't touch anything, but how come there is so much fat in the system? I said, I told you a few days ago, we're going to produce protein. Because it's very easy to produce protein from fresh air, because in the air there is a hydrogen, carbon, nitrogen, and oxygen. And if you can create the right combination, as I told you in those wires, if you create a wire in a specific way, you can literally, like a honey dripping, I've done it, it's just like protein drips, because these layers, this layer is like a skin. If you treat it or condition in a certain condition, you can literally absorb anything you like. This is the longest piece of diamond you ever see. Yeah? I don't say it. You saw the test by IMEC. It's done by them. Yeah? So, and the thing is, if you can do it, you create certain structure within your skin, then you can absorb anything through it, the energy you need. This is something we already use. The axis of atom slightly changes, the penetration becomes, the material becomes insulator. And that's diamond that all your women love to have. But if you change the same direction overnight to another piece, then becomes carbon is a brush, you're worth nothing. It's in all the motors as the best conductor. If you've been in the diamond business, you understand there is always a black dot in the center of diamond. They try to cut it, and when they cut it, that is the mother. That's where the actual process goes, reverses. Every diamond in the center has a carbon, and it's black. The colors you get is the gases which are sitting around, and they radiate back and forth from it. So if the gas is something else, it becomes a pink or blue or whatever that. So it's the structure. You see, this is a weak and this is a strong magnet. This doesn't pull this. This pulls this. You understand? It's the same thing. If your magnetic field is in a certain strength, you always get absorbed. This is what I explained in the second book. Atoms in a certain condition, become spherical, become plasma. A plasma. When they go in motion, not to lose so much of it, they become a line. So they become a ray, they become a light. Yeah? And this is what you use for a space technology for travel. That's what I said in the present, and we're going to show the videos with the next generation and the present generation of space technology. This is the magnet, let's say this is the Earth, and this is my system. If I'm somewhere in the space, I don't need to burn the fuel. There's no burned fuel, finished. NASA game is over. Huh? You understand? That's why when we said the spaceship program is that we don't use any more we don't burn any more fuel. The burning of the fuel is finished. Because all you need to do, if I can tune my little reactor in my little car to the magnetic field, gravitational field of the moon, where is the rocket propulsion? Where is the burning of a fuel of few tons? Okay? That's what the game has changed. The game of the space program has changed totally. You see, you know, I show this very simply, huh? If you understand this, if you've been to my presentations, if you understand this, this is literally this more than anything else. This is the essence of life. This is CH3. Yeah? It's the beginning of life. This is CH3 and this is a CO2. Yeah? So, if you can understand, you can create life anywhere. So you can make whatever you like anywhere. This is a CO2 in a powder form. This has taken best part of 8 years research for me. To me, why I had to find CO2 solid was to find a way that I can produce any matter out of the energy of universe anywhere in the universe. You gather what you need at the point of need and then you use it. This when we showed you the first time in Tehran, producing heavy materials out of the reactor, it could not be understood, and partially I was shocked how correct my theory was when I saw the things coming out. Yeah, I don't plan things, I'm like you, I see things, oh shit, it's not something I wanted. But now, because we managed to produce gold, structured material, in Tehran in September 2008, this has shown me a way that for a space, I don't need take all the aluminiums and all the ions to build something. Huh? If you can understand that you can transfer the energy, magnetic field of the environment into light, which is this one, this is what it's doing, and you can convert this light to anything you like, then you don't need to have a solar system. So when you run a reactor, a space reactor, you get loading. Loading is very dangerous because you get materials on the fringes of places you don't want. So you get aluminium on the edge you don't want, you get things you don't want. And I've seen things. I've become very good in dictating, or not dictating, it's the wrong word, guessing what is going to be where. Because I know which area of the reactor creates the field, let's say, of plastic or gold. So then you don't get trapped in that kind of thing. So you don't need a solar system to exist as long as you can absorb energy of the environment. I see the future of Keshe Foundation on your shoulders because my time as a researcher is more important to me than commercialization and bringing it to knowledge. We're going to start using this auditorium as an international place to teach. And I hope next time when we are together, we'll see more different colors and nationalities than 5 or 6 which are here today. I know we got a delegation from China coming very soon to spend a week here to learn about the technology. And I know there are people who are coming from South America to be here, to be taught, to take the knowledge back. So I hope you carry my thoughts and my teaching with yourself and teach other people. There is no time for greed, as long as we can take enough what we need at a point of need. Thank you very much.